What's up, everyone, and welcome to a WNBA State of Mind where we mainly discuss basketball, but we love other sports. And I'm here with a very special guest, head coach Dan Hughes. Coach, I have you being with 15 teams. Now, correct me wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. 15 teams, men and women.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Uh,
out of that, okay, you're a two-time WNBA champion, two-time WNBA Coach of the Year. All right, just listen to yourself. All right, all right. As far as coaching is concerned, all right, Charlotte, 1999, Cleveland from 2000 to 2003. Welcome back to the league, Cleveland. Okay,
yeah,
yes, kudos. San Antonio, 2005 through 2016. There was a little break, but you still got a lot of history over there. Seattle, 2018 to 2021.
yeah.
Coach of the Year, 2001 in Cleveland. Okay. 2007 in San Antonio. All right. WNBA championship, two times in Seattle, 2018 and 2020. And now I think dibbling and dabbling in USA basketball. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're
Yep.
a huge testimony to the game, huge testimony, and I'm honored. And I want to say thanks in advance for a wonderful show. So I just had to put that introduction out there. As long and it's longer than that. I'm just running over some stuff to get. But you returned to the W back a few years ago. So we're gonna catch up and we're gonna reminisce and then at the
Okay.
same time. But first, what have you been doing lately? Catch us up.
Yeah, I retired back to Ohio. I'm an Ohio guy, and my grandkids, my daughter and her husband's in the Air Force, and he's stationed at Wright Pat here in Dayton, Ohio. And so when my wife and I were getting near the end of our run when we were in Seattle, we're like, man, we got to figure out where we're going to go, when you when this is all over. So we decided to come back to Ohio, and we're about 2 miles from our grandkids.
Nice.
And we had furniture, Adrian, and you can appreciate this because I've seen your travels. I'm well aware of where all you've been. We had
Yes.
we had furniture in Florida. We had furniture in San Antonio. We had furniture in Seattle. We had furniture here in Ohio. So finally, we got everything together here right now. And I have been really fortunate. Basketball has been, even though I'm retired, I've kind of reinvented retirement. I say yes to a lot of things that people ask me to do. Some of them make me a little money, some of them don't, but I can give back to the game at this stage of my life. I've been very fortunate to have had a long career. And so I've consulted a couple teams in the WNBA when they were struggling a little bit and they wanted me to work with their head coach, and I did it very privately. I have announced a little bit. I'm going out to Seattle. Seattle's great. Every summer they ask me to come out and do one, two, or three games, whatever fits into to our schedules. And I'm going out when Sue Bird's statue is unveiled, and I'm going to
Nice.
be out there for that, and I'm going to broadcast the game. And I love doing that. So I did a little bit of that. I don't do a lot, but for special situations like Seattle, I do. I work for a company called VReps, which is a basketball teaching tool that's virtual. It's teaching the game, and we won what's called Launchpad with it's a contest with the NBA. So we are partnered with the NBA right now, and looking to kind of take this software and this virtual to basketball teaching across the world. So I've been really lucky, and I drive my grandkids. I will let you know I had to turn down taking my granddaughter to gymnastics. She's really good, but I had to turn it down, Adrian, because I wanted to be with you. So that's my life.
Wow. See now, I feel special, grandbaby over there. and you're taking 30 minutes out of your time. So make sure you skedaddle after you get off of this
Oh,
show.
I will.
Make sure you catch up the end.
I will.
And circling back, like I said, Coach, you coached a total of 15 teams, men and women, several of them WNBA. Okay. How does the league look, all right, to you right now since 1999?
It looks tremendously different from the standpoint of the eyes that are looking at it. I don't, I do believe that the players have gotten more athletic. You were very athletic. You were an example of somebody that I think would have fit into this world that W is in now because you were athletic and you were strong. And the league has definitely gotten along that. But the difference to me, there were great players during the era that you and I were in there. And I just don't know if there's many eyes looking at the product as there are right now. So I'm very happy for that. But I also very much try to carry wherever I go what people like yourself did to really build this league, the base that it gave us for this moment to happen that I'm very happy for, but I know the work you all put in to get to that level.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at it from that standpoint and from those eyes, it gives it a different perspective, especially when, being on a podcast and talking about that, not live, but when I broadcast. I mean, there's some just great things going on in the league right now. You got 100 free agents. I think that is bananas, is crazy. I think that, Minnesota, they are always making some great moves. And that Dejanay Carrington move that they just made was absolutely fantastic. I think it's a win-win situation because Diamond really need to be loosed from that situation because she's a fantastic player and I've been waiting for her to bust out, but maybe Minnesota wasn't the place for her. So it's a win-win situation. I like to, see all of the stuff that's going on right now. I'm excited for the young players that are in there. Can't wait for Caitlin to come back so she can, start shooting those bombs again. But give me some teams and players you like, your top four playoff predictions and, like players to watch, teams to watch that are on the rise that are really, really coming along. I like Valkyries.
Well, I have two teams that I would put. It's a great grouping right now, and you can see it in the standings. But the two teams that are the two teams that played in the finals last year, I think Minnesota has been probably the best basketball team that I have watched all year. But right below it, and especially if they can put their pieces together, is New York. Uh, they're and they've added. You talked about these and but you have to. Emma is a big piece if they can blend that all together. But those two teams to me are above. And then there's four teams I watch a lot beyond those two. And part of that is because they were my assistants or they were my players. There's some of that in there, but I watch Seattle a lot, and
Yes.
if they can kind of pull to a momentum at the end, I'm not going to be surprised if they're knocking on the door. But the other teams that jump out to me, don't discount Vegas.
Oh
Um,
no.
I think it's been, an adjustment, and I've seen Becky work it, but I watched Jewel have an incredible game. Jewel Lloyd played for me, and I just know what a difference she can make. She had an incredible game on Sunday. If they get those pieces in alignment, don't count them out either. As far as what they're doing.
Yeah.
The other two teams that are curious to me when we're talking about what's going to happen at the end is Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Smesko, out of that group, I watch him a lot. Now he's not one of my former players. He's an Ohio guy. His father was a coach in Akron, but what Carl has done with that team very quietly.
Yes.
has built them to a point that, and they're knocking on the door right now of being that upper level of team. So,
Yes.
he and Natalie at Golden State to me are probably doing phenomenal jobs as coaches and I would single them out. Um, the other one is what's happening in Indiana, and you alluded to it. Stephanie, I coached Stephanie in her rookie year, so I watched them a lot too. But
Man.
they won six straight. Am I right? Six straight
Yeah.
without Caitlin.
Yeah, absolutely. They are absolutely rolling. Okay.
Yeah,
And they're gonna keep on
yeah,
keep on laughing and joking MAGA Barbie while she's standing out there shooting all of those threes. I mean, I think she was like
yeah,
5 for 5 yesterday.
yeah,
That game yesterday was bananas. And
yeah,
so Indiana is just really what Stephanie has got them doing over there is absolutely fantastic. And
yeah.
I think more of it is not so much that's on the floor. It's what she's doing in the locker room and getting them to play together, gel together, understand, sometimes you're not going to like each other. Sometimes you're not going to, but when you're out there on the floor, you play together. She's gotten them help to help her. Once you see help to help her, then you know that that's a happy team.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're playing for each other.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't see that much in men's basketball, because they have the 3 second rule takes that out of there. But I like those teams. Like they starting to bring defense back.
Yeah,
I think we saw that in the playoffs a little bit. You know,
mm-hmm,
uh, couple of those guys out there with the glove effect. I like Nemhard and Neesmith. I like them.
mm-hmm.
I like them. I like Indiana this year, the men's, but the WNBA, is booming right now. Rolling into the next question, what would you like to see moving forward with the WNBA and this booming growth? We got new teams coming in. You got Cleveland, you got Portland, Toronto, Philadelphia coming, Boston saying that they are willing to buy Connecticut right now. And then now there's a new block buyer saying, no, we want to keep it. So we got these wars right now, which are healthy. So what do you think about all of this growth and like moving forward? I know we have a lot of growth,
Yeah.
but so it kind of covers up what we really still need. And you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. I got Coach Dan Hughes, two-time WNBA champion.
Well, the thing that is very very interesting to me as I watch what I'd like to see. Um, I love that the attention, the financial commitment it is there or coming about. I'd like to see the CBA pay the players greater. I'd like to see when Cleveland was announced as a team because I had a run in Cleveland. I'm not a person that I was not a coach that had a conversation going on with the league president. That really wasn't how some coaches are, and that's fine. I wasn't. I was too busy coaching my team, but I reached out to Kathy and I just said, thank you. Thank you for bringing basketball back to some of these places, including Cleveland. And it meant a great deal to me because that was probably where my brand as a basketball coach and my love was really evident because I had spent 20 years on the men's side, to be honest with you, before I did that. And thank you for doing that. But what I would like to see, and I don't hear a lot of discussion, but maybe it's going on, as more money is brought to that, I'd like to see some of that money go to the players that went before. And by that, I'm talking about healthcare. I'm talking about some things like that. I would love to allow this product that has grown not only bring what the players are due, but let's bring some of those resources to the people who really planted this product in our country. And one way I think that might be able to do is through making sure there's some things healthcare wise that these players that went before can participate in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I will have to agree with you 100% because that's the thing that's first and foremost. We want to make sure that, health is wealth. And so if we
Yeah,
could do that, I also, in my opinion, help to create some type of generational wealth or create some type of wealth
yeah,
where it would be really easy for the WNBA to have a drop page where fans who still love their former players can go and get throwback jerseys, and then then now we create revenue sharing in that way, and that wouldn't be really difficult. I mean, we have the licensing. The group license, and I think it's on the retired players side. So we kind of getting lost in the sauce because that needs to be activated because we should be doing something with that group license. I don't know who's in charge of that, whether it's the retired players or it's the current players
mm-hmm.
association. But it'd be nice that if we had a committee and we had a voice of some sort, that would be awesome.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. And as we wrap it up, Coach, I told you I'm not going to keep you long. I got that baby over there dancing her little feet off over there, waiting for granddaddy to come. I'm glad, I'm glad that you said that because I love it when people take that position and they say, hey, listen, family first. I've put in 30, 40 years. Now I'm going to make sure that it becomes about my family. I want to be a part of my grandbabies' lives. I want to be a part of, my nieces and nephews, all of those things that we miss. People do not realize that we miss the birthdays, the christenings, the family gatherings, the family reunions, all of the things that we miss and that we sacrifice to be the foundation of this sport
Right. And
called women's basketball. And you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. Coach, tell people how they can get in touch with you, wrap it up, email, and the services that you provide right now. And we'll take it out of here with that.
yeah, well, I'd be more than happy to. I got a plug. I had an odd situation at the end of last year. I had an author from Turkey. Did you ever play in Turkey, Adrian?
No.
No. Okay. Well, a lot of the players did.
I was closest was Barcelona.
Okay. Well, our game internationally in the WNBA, especially during my years, was sometimes even larger than what was going on domestically. I often found they were very knowledgeable about. Anyway, he sent me a manuscript. He had written. He and I had done a podcast together, much like this. He had a very popular one internationally, and I went on it and did it. Well, anyway, he got motivated, kind of went into my background a little bit, and wrote about my career in relation to culture because I had talked a lot about culture. So anyway, just this past week, this book came out. Okay, it's called "Changing Culture Inside the Mind of Dan Hughes." He wrote this thing. I read it, and then we kind of talked back and forth. I helped a little bit with names and places about some. He had really put a lot of work into it. So anyway, that came out last week, and I shamelessly got to plug that a little bit for Mir. That's his name, and he did a great job writing this at that point. But the second thing is my email is my name, Dan Hughes _ 2000 at yahoo.com. And I feel like my mission in life right now, I think God has blessed me in a lot of ways, is to continue to try to give back.
Yeah.
And so if there's some way that I talk to a lot of coaches, I talk to a lot of young people, I say yes to things that I think can make this world and our basketball world better. I say yes to a lot of things, if it's possible. So I appreciate talking with you. And if someone wants to reach out, they'll probably hear right back from me. I'm pretty good about that.
And we're going to end on that note. And he is. Coach is very, very good about getting back. That's what I love about you, Coach. I love that. I love the respect that you have for all of us who played with you, against you, fantastic. And don't forget to download, share, like, repost, and subscribe to a WNBA State of Mind. You know we love you out there. Sammy Sosa, peace out. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.